It's time now for our daily Need to Know feature, where we take all your questions on money, business, and the economy. We have gathered a team of experts who are amped and ready to answer them for you. Tonight, we received a question by email from Sizi, who asked, how are social enterprises formed in general? Program Manager of the Network for Social Entrepreneurship at GIBS, Kerryn Krige, answered this question.
Well, the great thing about social entrepreneurship is you have to have a little bit of crazy to be a social entrepreneur in the first place, because clearly you're seeing the world in a different way and you're tackling problem solving from a very, very different angle. You need to take this resilience into the world of setting up your social enterprise because it's not easy. Our legislative environment is not set up for hybrid models of business. So in other countries like the UK and the US, you can have companies that can operate for and not for profit. Unfortunately, in South Africa, this doesn't exist, and you typically register as both a for-profit and as a not-for-profit company. This kind of doubles the governance responsibilities that you have, as you need to be accountable for both organizations. But the advantage is it opens up different types of funding to your organization. And when you want to start a social enterprise, one of the first things you have to look at is where is your funding coming from. Your not-for-profit arm, the funding is generally well understood. This comes from grants, it comes from corporate social investment, from philanthropy, the usual channels that we know fund charities. But your for-profit arm opens up a whole new channel of funding that non-profit organizations usually aren't able to access. From equity and debt funding, loan funding, venture capital funding. We find social entrepreneurs start having conversations with angel investors. So social entrepreneurship typically shifts the way that we start looking at social change, because it bridges the gap between social and business, and it allows you to access different types of funding to enable you to proceed on your social entrepreneurial journey.
Time now for a look at the markets. We start in the US, where shares rose after press reports on the possibility of a debt agreement between Greece and its major creditors. US Treasury yields also headed higher, on continued expectations of a Federal Reserve rate hike this year. In Europe, UK stocks suffered a third session of losses. HSBC continued to sting in the wake of allegations it advised clients on ways to avoid paying taxes in their home countries, and commodity stocks also took another fall. Here at home, the JSE closed flat in volatile trade. This saw the all-share index fall to sustain earlier gains to record levels. The local index barely changed from yesterday's close. Looking at the commodities, gold looks set to give up recent gains with strength in the US dollar and a rise in equities dulling the metal's appeal. Investors continue to keep an eye on ongoing turmoil in Greece, with oil expected to remain at $60 a barrel or less over the next 2 years. On the currency market, the rand was softer, with commodity prices still under pressure from China's demand dipping lower. Local jobs data did very little to move the local unit higher. That's it for today's edition of eNCA Moneyline. And remember, we love hearing from you, so feel free to send us your comments and questions via email to moneyline@enca.com. You can also tweet us using the handle @eNCA and hashtagging eNCA Moneyline. From myself and the team, it's goodbye.